introduce the concept of colony-forming units and the need for a novel analysis tool, say we're testing a vaccine in animals. We give a candid vaccine and compare it against a control, and then infect the animals with the bacteria. To see if the vaccine worked, we then want to see if the animals were able to control the infection and see how sick they are through quantifying the viable bacteria. We can do this through performing serial dilutions and then counting the colony-forming units, or CFUs. So in this plot on the right, this represents a plate with colony-forming units where each dot is a CFU. Now the problem occurs when you have hundreds of plates and then have to perform calculations to determine the total number of CFUs in a sample. Here's an example. Say we have 10 experimental groups in this first column that we're trying to compare. There are 3 replicates per group labeled A through C. We can then write the dilution in this column here, and then the countable CFUs in this column, where T and TC is too numerous to count. To calculate the CFUs in a sample, we then have to account for the dilution factor, the total volume made, the volume plated, and sometimes the percentage of the organ that you took. So you can see the calculations that are performed here. We then want to copy those for all of our different samples. After that, we may want to multiply by, say, if we took half of an organ, say half of a spleen, and then calculate the whole CFUs in a sample by accounting for the fact that we just took half of a spleen. Lastly, we can calculate the log 10 CFUs for an entire organ. Trying to copy this information and changing it according to the experiment can take time and is prone to human error. Further, after calculating the log 10 CFUs for each sample, you may want the average of each group and then plot the results and calculate statistical significance. Many people do this through importing their data into a different statistical software. So there's a need for a streamlined tool that can perform all these calculations quickly and accurately.